The similarities between our deep freeze problems in February and the national shortage of gas and oil in the 70s go well below the surface. Throughout the day, we will be looking at the problems with ERCOT, utility regulators, and the utilities themselves, looking for answers. 25 News reporter Dennis Turner investigates the energy crisis.
There's a meter here on this house.
Like several Texans, Ty Williams got a real electric shock when he opened his power bill.
Almost $17,000.
$17,000.
$17,000.
Yeah, hearing it 3 times doesn't make it sound any better. Ty took a deal from a company called Griddy, which buys electricity on the so-called spot market. Power prices went through the roof in the Texas deep freeze as power grid operator ERCOT jacked up prices to the max, hopefully prompting power producers to pony up extra juice. And that left people like Williams to pony up, people without the protection of a fixed price contract. Economically speaking, this has all happened before, but with a different kind of energy. In the 1970s, Arab countries cut off America's oil supply, eventually sending gas prices, which sometimes you can find for 25 cents a gallon, up about 400%. In the years that followed, lots of oil companies bought on the spot market, where it seemed like even the littlest thing could send gas prices to as much as $4 a gallon or more. But this time, we have no OPEC to blame.
Natural gas didn't get to electric generation plants to allow them to generate electricity. And the reason it didn't get there and at the pressure that was required is because they didn't have electricity where they were producing the natural gas.
Krista Castaneda understands the ERCOT problem better than almost anyone. This Dallas-based engineer and attorney deals with court matters involving the energy industry every day. She says if you think Ty Williams has a problem, consider this.
ERCOT raised the maximum price for a gigawatt of electricity on the grid to $9,000. It didn't actually produce the response and demand that it needed to, and they left it set at that level for too long, resulting in $16 billion of extra charges that frankly shouldn't be there.
$16 billion. The bill for just a few days, that's more than all of us spent on energy for all of 2020. Why? That's the way free markets work. Scarce resources demand top dollar. As it did during the gas crisis of the 1970s, so it happened again in the Texas deep freeze, putting the Lone Star State in its own little energy crisis.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way this deregulated grid works, though, is that lots of money gets made in a very few days and not very much money gets made the rest of the year. This is an unusual aberration, even on top of that.
We really can't blame nature for the deep freeze, but Castaneda says we can and should blame regulators and our political leaders for not taking the recommended action to protect the electrical system the last time something like this happened in 2011. As the 1970s energy crisis almost put the Chrysler Corporation out of business, now the Texas deep freeze has made some power companies almost powerless as they seek bankruptcy protection.
Who gets rich and who gets ruined? That's really the question.
A question that's left Ty Williams wondering which one he'll become as he struggles to find the money to pay for that bill of, how much is that again?
Almost $17,000.
The ice may have melted, but the heat we're likely to feel for all this, experts say, has only just begun. Dennis Turner, 25 News.